Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, welcome back, folks, here for tonight. A little practice time going on, and before we get started here in qualifying, I'll bring up old Richard Murtaugh Jr. here and get a word with him tonight. Got the super late models here, Alec.
Super late models, and someone who is very familiar with super late model action, Richard Murtaugh Jr., and a very strong run in the pro late models. Not a win, but now take that momentum of a top 10 to now super late model action. What's the game plan now? Just carry some momentum over?
Yeah, we got a really good piece. I was actually more excited to run the supers than the pro, and we went third, fourth, fifth there. So I think we'll be really good. Put a lot of time in the slicks, so hopefully we do good in qualifying and start up front.
Well, you know, it's a shorter track coming from Knoxville last week into this one than Eldora. So now, you know, it's a different mindset of short track here. But I think if someone's turned a lot of laps on this racetrack, it's you.
Yeah, we certainly put a lot of laps in. All week long, we've been preparing for this race. And I felt like last week we had a lot of speed, but a lot of stuff happened that stopped me from running up front. But I think as long as we can qualify good tonight, we'll be in good shape because we got a really good feature set.
Well, good luck tonight. Hopefully the rest of the team as well gets on the top 10 train with you. But that is Richard Murtaugh Jr.
Good, he looked good in this thing here. Well, oh, big bad Bo's up here. We'll word with him again.
Bo Krebs, again, another guy coming off a feature appearance in the pro late models. You had a tougher task, though. You had to come through the B main into the A main. What's the game plan now going into this?
Qualify a little better. I feel like that was the one thing I did a little wrong last time was a little off pace in qualifying. So we can maybe get another 10th or so in qualifying. We could be up there towards hopefully on the front row of heat and just be able to walk straight into a feature event.
Well, we know you got a lot of teammates cheering you on and watching you, especially the boss. We saw him in the comments for that feature event. But The name of the game, qualify good, start up front, and hopefully put it in the show.
Yes, sir.
That is Bo Krebs, and it looks like qualifying soon, getting ready, and if it's anything like it was in the pro late models, it is going to be you gotta qualify good, because if you don't qualify good, you're in for a long night and maybe not even making the show.
Yep.
Heard it right there, man. Old big bad old Bo. He's gonna see if he can't make it tonight. See what he can do. Well, rocking it here in practice. Gonna kick it on over to qualifying here soon. We saw some good action in the pro late models at dirtfan.com, but we got the Miller family truck and super late models presented by Hontz Performance. And if you were, we're live tonight here, obviously on OSR Network, on YouTube, Facebook. We are live over on the dirtfan.com, Miller family truck on Wokdale on Facebook, and UDTV over on Facebook. So if I didn't get your comments over on UDTV, last one, I see them out there. I see Jennifer Hontz there. Out on the road. Some performance and on the road. Awesome. But Alex, with the super late models, what do you think we'll see different from the pro?
A lot more.
Austin.
Throttle pro late models are here. Oh. Are we back?
All right, gotcha. Yeah.
There we
Discord
go.
must be acting up a little bit.
But yeah, it's one of those back to throttle control. Like I said, 50% of these guys we saw in the pro late models, they have the track time now especially, but more horsepower in these cars, but it's time to get to work qualifying, getting ready to begin.
Yeah, it is. Like I say, a little more horsepower. Physically you see them, they look the same out here, but in real life, you got the bigger motors, a little bit different, the chassis and whatnot. As qualifying is going to come over here, we're going to set the field. Now, this here, you got to be more invited to. You don't just say, okay, we're going to sign up and be here. More you're invited, so you're going to see a lot of the same guys that was in the pro late model. You're going to see probably some a little bit newer faces out here, some heavy hitters as qualifying underway.
Qualifying is underway, and times, again, just like pro lates, just like every week, it is going to come hot and heavy. Times are going to hit the boards, and when they hit the boards, be ready to watch as quick times will hit. Guys to watch, Richard Murtaugh Jr., who we talked to just a little bit ago, Evan C., the winner of the pro late models, Trey Mills as Joey Lamb, the first one to go quick time. Now Brent Evans, so 13.7s, 13.6, Jordan Casey now. So keep an eye as these times continue to get a little quicker here. This track's a little more slick here, so it's going to be interesting to see how this works. And AJ Cruz, who we always see in the comments and we always give crap to, AJ Cruz also in the top 5 right now.
Absolutely. Right here, quick time up top, Jordan Casey, the man holding it for the moment. But they can swap real quickly. Got guys behind him like Chase Harding, Devine, Evans, and just like I said, look who just popped up on the top. The man who dominated the last race in the pro late models, Evan C.
Evan C. quick time. Logan Rumsey second quick, 13.668 for Logan Rumsey here. So these guys still looking for some speed. See if they can gain some more speed on here. Dylan Yeager, quick time now, 13.621. Dylan Wilson goes second quick, 13.629. So those two now, top 2 on the boards. There is Ryan Flatten. Now he goes 13.639. That puts him 4th quick on the board here as well. As again, hot and heavy times here. Jesse Enterkin as well, as now you see time still hitting in here. And who's going to hit quick time? As you know, guys like Richard Murtaugh Jr., Dylan Hauser, Travis St. Clair, Blake Majula still yet to put a time down. So watch that top of the board, because still times to hit here. As there's Richard Murtaugh Jr. going 13.657. He will come into the top 10 as well. So again, the name of the game also, can you qualify good? Dylan Hauser on track right now. 13.678 for Dylan Hauser now, as he will go, but quick time, Blake Majula, 13.558 for the 127.
Oh, Blake Majulis, his season has not started out like he's wanted it so far. He's had some pretty bad starts. Not bad in qualifying, not bad getting to the feature and whatnot. It's just been, bad luck. We saw it there pass here in the pro late, so we'll see if we can bounce back here, putting it on pole here tonight.
Blake Majulis quick time, so it's going to be interesting to see how this works out as qualifying has elapsed. And talk about heavy hitting. All these heats are going to be hot and heavy and stacked to the very top. 5 heat races on tap, 10 laps of distance. Top 3 will move on to tonight's A main event. And, of course, setting quick time again, that 127 machine of Blake Majulis.
Wow, so we're heading up here. Heat race number 1, about to be in the books here. Number top 3 going to go. So we got Blake Majulis going to be out front. Richard Murtaugh Jr. starting the second. Corey Valise right third. Jesse Eckerton right there in 4th. Trey Mills 5th. Thaddeus Marshall 6th. Austin Hunter 7th. Bob Klein in 8th. Brandon Freeberg 9th. Bo Krebs 10th. And Jaden Sheehan in 11th. Man, you want to talk about just a stacked field. Wow.
So we're hoping on my side here, as looks like I'm having some issues on my side on the computer, so you might be on your own for this heat race.
Little update here on that, folks. iRacing has forced over to the UI, and I'm gonna say it is causing some. It's actually causing a little hiccup here with the SDK. I can already tell you that. Is it trying to update? Oh. Get it fixed later on. Not a lot we can do about it. It's on the iRacing side of things, but like I said, Blake Majulis out front. This one, here we go. Pace trucks pulling them around. Remember, only the top 3 go, so there's going to be some guys in here, big name guys in here that could have to run the LCQ. Green flag. Blake Majulis gets out front. You got Richard Murtaugh Jr. there in 2nd. Corey Valise hanging up in 3rd. Meanwhile, it is that battle for 3rd place spot. Eckerton wants it. Valise has got it. Eckerton's to the outside. Let's see if he can't go door to door when the Valise is there. Not going to happen. Corey says, I want that spot back. He takes the outside lane. Eckerton's on the bottom. What we saw last time was the outside started out the place to be, but the inside came in as the race went on. Good shot. Trey Mills moving up to 4th. Blake Majulis is right there. All figured out there.
I'm gonna actually have to close out and try and rejoin.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then just let me know when you get back here. You hear it's an awesome heat race right now. Majulis man out front. Murtaugh's hanging on to 2nd. Eckerton, he is hold on to 3rd. But boy, he's got some heat by Trey Mills. Trey Mills is all over the back of him. Take that spot away. Not being able to yet. Everybody kind of single file. It's kind of the biggest battle happening is for this 3rd place spot. Eckerton holding on to 3rd. Trey Mills right behind him. Now he's got Valise, who has fallen all the way back to 5th. Wow. Not what he wants. That is definitely not what he wants right now. Valise outside looking in. Would have to run the LCQ to make the feature here tonight. Meanwhile, Blake Majulis, this is what he wants. Get in that feature and get a good top spot. Tired of being just knocked around like a ping pong ball. Murtaugh Jr. right there in 2nd. Everybody on the top side. Trey Mills. We're here tonight. Miller Family Trucking. eSports Super Late Models presented by Hontz Performance. Got old Hontz Performance on Facebook. All your performance needs. And right now, Eckerton, he's closing in on Murtaugh. He's thinking about maybe trying to take that 2nd place spot. Not going to happen. But they've got a little bit of gap room as they coming around here for the white flag. Final time for heat race 1. Blake Majulis, Murtaugh, Eckerton. Yep, those top 3, they're spread out. Boy, Trey's going to have to run the LCQ here tonight. That's going to make life a little bit harder. Him and Corey Valise. And a lot of guys in the back. So heat race 1 in the books. Blake Majulis doing what he needs here tonight. Starting off good. Put it on pole. Won his first heat race, so what he needs. So let's get up heat race number 2. Got Dylan Yeager out front. Logan Rumsey starting in 2nd, and Jordan Casey up in 3rd. Chase Hardy there in 4th. Cody Sieber up in 5th. AJ Cruz starting 6th. Got Michael Spengler there in 7th. And Nathan Waddell up in 8th. Jackson Franklin in 9th. Garrett Jones in 10th. And Darian Little starting out the 11th place spots. Again, on 3 machines go. And we've got some heavy hitters in this one too. Name a few. AJ Cruz right there. Literal in it. Jones, Waddell. Man, I don't know. Guys, tonight, a tough one. Logan Rumsey. Get what he gets. A little update on the score of the game, by the way. It's 12-19. Was winning with that.
Green flag.
3 minutes ago. Just give you an update. Green flag! Heat race 2. Boy, that is a heat race already. They're battling for 3rd place. That's Hardy Casey going at it side by side. They're side by side for the 2nd place spot. Rumsey, meanwhile, hanging on to 2nd. Yeager out front. Here comes Casey, going to trigger a dive bomb on the inside. Not going to happen. Hardy's holding on to the 4th place spot. Outside looking in. Right behind him, Sieber, Spengler. Those 2 guys, they've got some door action going on. Now they go single file for the moment. Look at Rumsey pull up on the back deck lid there. Yeager let him know, hey, boom. Then he shoves him into the turn and takes a slide job move on the inside. Crisscross him. Yeager said, yeah, appreciate that. Good move. Lost a lot of momentum. I'll take that spot back. Thank you. He does. Yeager back out front. Rumsey on 2nd. Rumsey said, I'm not done. I think that one looked good. Check this out. Well, they are doing crisscross moves out here. One goes around the other goes around one. Meanwhile, behind him, you got a battle for the 3rd place spot. That's for the transfer. Hardy's got it. He wants to keep it. Sieber wants it. Casey wants it. Spengler's there. You still got a battle for the lead. Them guys are putting sliders on each other. One gets a good run. The next one gets a good run. Never mind, caution. That just messes all up. Let's see what we got. Chase Hardy. Oh, man. Hardy. See what happened to him back here. Then that 99 machine, he's up top up against the wall. He just got sandwiched. Got up the top of the car, boom, right into the wall, slid around. And the 42 machine. Woo! Heat race 2 heating up. There's some good slide jobs. We did not see that in the pro late models hardly at all. Not like these supers. And that right there, you know, I talked to Alex beginning here as he's still working on some technical issues. He'll be right back with us. Trying to work through all this stuff, man, iRacing's got going on. But the biggest thing is he talked about it, the big thing between the pro late and the super late. And I think that's the reason why we're seeing these slide jobs is the power of these cars. You've got a lot more power in these super late models to slide this thing and get it going. So right now, single file start. Rumsey loves it. He gets a good jump out front. Yeager right behind him. Here comes Sieber, seeing if he can't put his nose on the inside. Not going to happen. Spengler, though, outside looking in 4th. Sieber's there in 3rd. Hold on to it. But back up front again. These 2 guys, they said, we're not done. Not putting slide jobs on each other anyways. Yeager looked there for the moment. Then he had to back out of it. Still single file. Sieber behind him in 3rd. That last final transfer spot. Got Spengler down on the bottom side. So you're trying to bring that low line back in. And I think it's going to before this one's up. Look at AJ Cruz up the 5th. Problem is, not enough to get him into the feature. Hit him run the LCQ, and it's not what you want to do. We've said it a million times. The way that these LCQs are set up as white flag flies with that man Rumsey, the way the LCQs are set up, if you're starting in the back, you have got a long road to get up to the front. And sometimes it's just not going to work out. It's going to be Rumsey, Yeager, Sieber taking the top 3. Everybody else got to run the LCQs. Good heat race, man. Awesome. Awesome. Get everybody tuning in out there. Hit them likes and shares out there. Hit it. So far, so good. That'll scoot us on over here to heat race number 3. Got up right fast. Dylan Wilson out front. Mike Augustine 2nd. John Ruggiero up in the 3rd. Cody Naveen up 4th. Matthew Selby 5th. Matthew Logan up in 6th. Chase Barbera 7th. Logan Brass there in 8th. Carden Cochran up in 9th. Josh Gooselin in 10th. And Elton Beck in these spots. Good names in this one. see what happens as Wilson, Augustine, and Rosario up top right now. Bean there. Whew. All right, Wilson out front. Augustine hanging on to second. Heat race number 3. First two have been pretty good on the boards here tonight. Augustine, Wilson, Dario. Green flag flies. Wilson gets a jump out front. The biggest battle's going to happen here for second, third, and fourth as Augustine, Rosero, Naveen. I mean, that's a who's name. You got Barbera. Only 3 guys can go to the feature. Somebody's going to have to run the LCQ and not be happy about it. Meanwhile, Cody Naveen right there. He's hanging on the 4th. Not doing a lot as Chase Barbera's on the outside. And that inside groove is yet to come in on these guys. Remember, it took all the way up to about, well, the B main before you start seeing it. Actually, about the feature time before you start to see it. You got a side-by-side. Chase Barbera. Barbera's falling off the pace all the way back to 7th. Up front, Darrow, he's hanging on the 3rd. Bean right behind him. Selby, oh, it's a single file run up front. You got to go back to about 6th or 7th place spot before you got Barbera and Logan before you get any side-by-side action. And even further on back there, you got Gooseland and Beck. They're in the 10th, 11th place spot. Because your top 3, they're all spread out. There's a 7/10 difference between Wilson and Augustine. Augustine, he's got not quite as of a gap between. Say that. He's got about a half second between old Darrow and Augustine. So that's the top 3. Evan, man, behind here. I mean, that's a guy outside we know is fast. Right now, he's looking. He's going, I got to do to get around this John guy. I know he's quick. Not going to happen. Free to go here, heat race number 3 here tonight. Miller Family Trucking, super late models presented by Hontz Performance. Like the Hontz Performance, definitely check those guys out. Right now, Wilson gonna do everything he possibly can. Bean outside looking in, white flag one more time. Augustine's not quite close enough to do anything with Wilson, and I don't think Nevin is either, so he's going to be outside, go to the LCQ. It's going to be Wilson, Augustine, Ruggiero, top 3 in the heat race 3 here tonight, going to the feature. Wrap us over here to heat race number 4. All right, heat race 4. Got the man who dominated the last race, Evan C., and then Dylan Hauser. Those 2 guys went at it last race. Robbie Buchanan. So there's 3 guys that are bad fast, starting in 3rd. Britt Evans up in 4th. Travis St. Clair there in 5th. Joey Lamb up in 6th. Nick Baum in 7th. Drew Hopkins starting 8th. Anthony Thompson in 9th. Scott Smith starting in the 10th place spot. Boy, I tell you, if you wanted a who's who of names in a heat race, this is it. Only top 3 get to go to the feature. Everybody else has to run the LCQ to try to make it. Somebody not making it in that top 3. Got 2 world champion iRacer out here for the Dirt Series. Evan C., Travis St. Clair. Got a couple more out here that pretty much could do the same. Buchanan, don't count him out. Hauser, he's there. You got Evans. And this whole field is stacked with some talent on that track right now. When it comes to iRacing. And Alex, did you get it, Pete?
I see cars, so I guess we're let's see. buffering.
He says he
Now
sees
it's-
stars.
Well, man, I'm running at like 10 FPS, so we're gonna hope
I got you.
that
I
it
got you.
kicks up.
Okay. Well, just let me know when you get there. You're good. Oh! Well, we talked about it. When was it going to happen? A little door action between Evan C. and Hauser. Remember, they talked about it last week, but Hauser threw that thing in there on the inside and door slammed him. Now they're back at it again. Evan C's going to do the slide job move over on Hauser. Buchanan's right there, too. It's a 3-car battle up front. Dylan Hauser says, you beat the doors off of me in the last race, OC. Hauser, though, he's coming back. On the outside, back in second. C's back out front. Does these two guys give each other, man, the doors tonight? Look out. Heat race 4. Meanwhile, Buchanan's holding on to that third place spot. You got old Nick Baum back behind him. But Dylan Hauser gets thrown all the way from the lead to third. Now he's in danger of going outside of the top 3. He's going to have to battle his way back. He looks to the back to the inside of Buchanan again. Evan C. says, see you later. I am gone. Nick Baum hanging on the third place spot for the moment as Hauser's able to hang on by a thread a little bit. Buchanan back in the back. Brent Evans up in the 4th, 5th. Buchanan hanging on the 5th place spot for the moment. Evans is the guy outside looking in. Can he put a slide job move on Nick Baum? Baum is clearly hanging on by a thread. Evan C. walking away. Well, he has got Lanier figured out. And if you put him out front again, I got a feeling he's going to be very hard to run down. Hauser just is not able to do anything with him right here. He's going to try it, though. He's going to try to put it. He's not getting away as far as he was. Hauser still on his back deck lid. Nick Baum, though, he's got all the pressure from old Brent Evans behind him. That's for the final transfer spot. 2 to go. Heat race number 4. Evans is going to throw the slider on the inside. Is he going to make it stick? Nope. He gets to the door of him with a white flag one more time. Battles on.
Knock on wood, we're running at 40 right now. So Nick Baum, Brent Evans going at it for their final transfer spot. Baum up top, Evans to the bottom side. C wins, Hauser second, Nick Baum gonna take the third and final transfer spot.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, Alice, it has just been some awesome, and we already see some sparks fly. We know the tension between Hauser and C, and we saw it right there a little bit, but heat race number 5, let's screw them up real quick. We got Ryan Flatten going to be man out front in this one. James Braswell starting in 2nd. Jaden Krause up in 3rd. Josh Fuller starting 4th. Joshua Koonsbeck there in 5th. Jordan
Mallherder.
Mallherder. Thank you. I knew it was Mall. I'll just start calling him Mall. James Clausen in 7th. Tyson Uliki 8th. Jason Corn in 9th. And Ryan Evelyn in the last place spot there in 10th starting tonight. So here we go. That last heat race was intense. Heavy hitter names in it.
I'm just happy that the FPS started rising right at the end of the race, and I got to see that photo finish at the line. It's depressing, and I kind of wish that, I was hoping that, it joined so I could run it off the website again. No, it said, nice try. But Jaden Krause, who finished on the podium in the Pro Late, it's going to be interesting to watch him at Joshua Koonsbeck, who is the hard charger from that race. Again, another car to watch out for. Klaus and Ulecki, those guys were quick. Going to be fun to watch. Green flag is out here for heat race number 5, the final heat race of the night. Ryan Flatten out in front here. Braswell, Krause. That is going to be a battle for second right now, as now Braswell dropping back here as Fuller goes to the inside. Joshua Fuller going to take over that third spot, as he goes for the second spot here on that 113 of Jaden Krause. Jaden Krause holds the top side here. He goes to the bottom side now. This track slicked off very much quicker than those Pro Late models did, as that bottom side for Fuller coming in a lot quick.
Yeah, it is. You got Flatten up front looking good. Krause right behind him. You talk about Fuller. He's hanging on to the final transfer spot barely because Braswell's there. He has tried that low line to try to get it going. We saw it get going in the feature early on in the last with the Pro Late models. And then also don't count out Clausen. He's coming into the picture.
And oh man, Fuller now has a mistake. He hits the slick there. Here comes Braswell Jr. now. He is catching up to Josh Fuller. Fuller now under pressure for that third and final spot, but he's also placing pressure on that 113 of Jaden Krause. Ryan Flatten, he's out in front right now by almost a half a second, but that gap is closing here. So all top three guys might be under pressure here in a matter of laps here as Flatten, Krause, Fuller, that's your top three. Braswell and Clausen not far behind.
Yeah, absolutely. So Flatten is definitely out front, holding on to it. Got Krause right behind them. Fuller holding on to the third place spot, trying that low line to see if he can't get it, moving and grooving. Meanwhile, outside looking in is Braswell. Braswell's trying everything he can. Slider line, top line, maybe middle line. Just nothing's working to try to close in that gap between him and Fuller for that final transfer spot.
Battle is on. Fuller trying to hold on. Braswell right there. Braswell going to slider line it. Goes up to the top cushion here. Closing in on Josh Fuller. He's bringing Clausen as well. Clausen and Avila are right there as well. Ryan Avila, who started in 10th, he's up to 6th, so he's made some ground up. Will it be enough to make a transfer spot? I don't think so here. With the white flag in the air for Ryan Flatten out in front. Krause and Fuller, your top three right now. Braswell has one more chance into turn 3 and 4. It doesn't look like he's going to get there as Flatten going to hold off on one more move here. Flatten wins. Krause second. Josh Fuller holds on to the third spot here. And another entertaining heat race, and talk about it there. Ryan Avila now goes from 10th to 6th. That makes his chances of starting a lot higher in one of these LCQs a little bit better.
Absolutely. Well, it pulls us over here to the D main, and I talked about it earlier. There's going to be some names in here that they could have did better in the heats, because you've got Trey Mills out front, Brent Evans there in second, AJ Cruz in third, James Clausen up in fourth, Matthew Selby fifth, Austin Hunter sixth, Travis St. Clair in seventh, Jackson Franklin in eighth, Jordan Ballwater there in ninth, Josh Gooseland, I think, in 10th, and 11th, Bob Klein in 11th, Drew Hopkins up in 12th to round it out. 3 spots, though, here, Alex, and got some guys in this one that, big names, and we're going to go home.
Yes, it will. I'm pretty sure Mr. Irrelevant just sent the San Francisco 49ers to the NFC Championship game.
We're right.
The lights are out. Keep an eye on that young man on the pole of Trey Mills. Mills, Evans, that's your front row here. Top 3 move on, the rest go home. Green flag is out here for LCQ number 1. It's going to be Trey Mills leading into turn 1 and 2. He goes topside, so does Evans. AJ Cruz, though, he's going to go and caution flag out already.
Austin Hunter in the back here, it was kind of a big one. He bounced off of something. Watch it here on the replay or see what happened. He was kind of in that middle pack right there. Oh, he got contact for the back, went up against the wall, flipped it, barrel roll, kept going. Hey. Murtaugh out there, wham, bam, ugh. Yeah, hey, that's what happens on these tracks.
Here we go. We're going to try this again. So,
Still
Mills.
Problems, man.
Well, no, actually, it's working well. Knock on
okay.
wood again. We're going to knock on wood and hope it holds for the rest of the night. But Mills, going to be interesting to watch as Trey Mills has to hold off guys like Evans, Cruz, Hunter, Selby. Heck, I'll give credit where credit is due. Even Drew Hopkins still with damage. Drew Hopkins is a fast car. And keep an eye. He'll go from 12th to, heck, he might come for a transfer spot later on in this one. 12 laps are the distance here. And it looks like lights are off. Pace truck is heading off here. So we're going to try this restart yet again. Trey Mills, green flag is out here for LCQ number 1. Mills leads him into turn 1 and 2. Evans right there behind him. Then it is AJ Cruz. Now Cruz has some company because Matthew Selby tried to go to the inside there. So battle already early on here for that third and final spot. Cruz, though, going to hold on here as caution flag out again.
That caution's out again. Come back. Selby involved with this one. Yes. Yep. Six went around, he sure did. He got tagged on the inside, and he just got thrown all over the track and stuck in the fence. I'm gonna park it there.
So a tough end of the night for Matthew Selby and Austin Hunter. So tough end for both of them, as both of them will park it in the pits, and that will write an end to their nights here. So again, just like in the Pro Late Models, 2 drop weeks here, but you do not want to use those drop weeks too early in the season, or it could cost you a chance at a points championship. But here we go as these cars look to get regridded up here, and we'll have another restart. So 2 laps will be in the books here in LCQ number 1 here. Still 10 more to go.
And has been a solid race all night long throughout the heats and throughout the LCQs, and right now with the D main going on. Trey Mills looking to try to punch his ticket into the feature. Brent Evans right behind him. AJ Cruz, green flag, single foul. And you see Mills gets that jump on the field. He loves it here. Evans, Cruz, all those guys get away. Clausen is the man outside looking in right now.
Clausen right there, though. He's going to try and close in on AJ Cruz, but up front, it's Evans, it's Mills. Those two going at it as now Mills holds on that top spot. Brent Evans still trying to close in here. He's going to go bottom side by side they go into turn 3 and 4. Trey Mills up top. It's going to be Brent Evans on the bottom. Evans has the run out of the corner, but so does Mills, but Evans had him at the line there, so new race leader that time by Brent Evans over Trey Mills. Battle for that race lead. AJ Cruz now going to have some new challengers. Jackson Franklin up to the 4th spot here, 8-4. He's closing in here and bringing a whole bunch of cars with him.
The best man that's got the best view of the house is AJ Cruz. He's seeing this battle in front of him unfold between Mills and Evans as they go back single file. But right now he's kind of safe, but here comes Evans back on the inside. We got a car around in the back. That is James Clausen. Caution is out. All right. Caution. Made that really fast. And he just gets tagged in the back a little bit, and then boom. Dead turtle. Caution.
I see BJ Duval got jokes. BJ Duval got some jokes now, but you know what? So be it. I'll take it.
BJ, man, hardcore announcers for the video game. That's right, we do, man. Look, we hardcore. Or kind of. That didn't come out right. Yeah.
Look, don't put like someone like me and Brett Wheeler together. Oh man.
How you doing?
Put me and Brett Wheeler together.
Get a current list of the points. Current list of the points. Go check out Wotel over on Facebook, or the man out there is yelling at BJ. He might be able to give you one there, Jordan. Think about, or on the Discord.
But here we go. Green flag is back out in the air here. So we are over halfway here in this one. Trey Mills out in front. Brent Evans, AJ Cruz still trying to hold on to that 3rd spot here as Cruz has company. And here he comes, that 157 machine. Drew Hopkins in the battle here for that 3rd spot. Hopkins now coming after AJ Cruz. Side by side they will go. One is Drew Hopkins, CFM eSports 157 machine on the bottom side. AJ Cruz up top, side by side battle for the race lead as well here. So battles throughout here. Top 3 go on, the rest go home as now Evans Mills throwing sliders back and forth. So much action to go here with only 2 to run.
It is. You see Mills taking over the lead, but a slide job, beautiful, done. As you got Brett Mills looking back on the inside, taking the lead back. AJ Cruz trying to defend off Hopkins behind him for that the 3rd and final transfer spot. But meanwhile, you want to talk about Slider City. It is happening up front between Evans and Mills. If he calls himself the future, well, the future right now is definitely here because he is up front trying it. White flag one more time.
Into turn 3 and 4 they will go. Trey Mills, he is going to lock up the win here in LCQ number 1. Then it is Evans, and then it is AJ Cruz. It looks like Cruz holds off Drew Hopkins as Hopkins went from 12th to 4th, but not going to be enough there. Drew Hopkins' night is done, but talk about it now. Trey Mills is legit. Him, Evans, and Cruz moving on to tonight's A main event.
Gonna look good. It's got Michael Spengler, the man out front in this one, with James Bradwell starting in second, Chase Barbera there in third, Thaddeus Marshall starting fourth, Joey Lamb up in fifth, Jared Jones in sixth, Jason Corn in seventh, Logan Brass starting in eighth, Bo Krebs starting ninth, Anthony Thompson in 10th, Chase Hardy 11th, Joshua Koonsbeck rounds the top 12 here, and also looks like Jordan Little is going to be in 15th. So C-Main here tonight. We've had some heck of a heat races here for the Miller Family Trucking Super Late Models presented by Hontz Performance. Got to give a good shout out to the Hontz game coming on. All them out there watching as always. So Hontz Performance coming on board, been a title sponsor here. A lot of money online, like you spoke of it. Got some awesome Speed Week races coming up. Alex, just a lot of stuff, man, happening here at the Wotel Series.
Hopefully I am going to be, as far as I know, it all depends on how the schedule. It looks like I will be back next week again behind the mic for not only pro lates, but possibly supers as well. That is up to, you know, the higher ups in the Wotel here, but we're going to enjoy it while we can.
I think Brett's still out of town.
No. So we're back in business for another week, but green flag is underway here for your next LCQ of the night here. So 2 down at the end of this one here. Spangler, Braswell are all in the mix here. Barbera, Marshall, as there is a 4-car battle already in this one here. Cars up front, though. It's Michael Spangler out in front. Braswell, Barbera, Marshall, Lamb, they're battling it out here. 3 wide almost there into 1 and 2 for those top 3 spots.
It is. You got Spengler still out front holding it down. Barbera there barely in second. The biggest battle's happening with Braswell, Marshall. That's for the final transfer spot in our C main. If you're marred back in traffic like Krebs, Hardy, Brass, Corn, a lot of those guys, you have got to make hayway up front real quick. We got cars around, and that's probably going to bring a caution out. And Phil, that one started with Jarrett Jones. Watch it one more time. We saw it right there in front. Jones just a product of it. Kind of all got messed up, and then side wall got him. Jones went around. Lamb was involved. We've seen it many times here, Alex. You get caught up in the mix, caught up in just a little bit in these races. I mean, this is literally short track racing. It doesn't take much. Fast, it's furious. I always say if you blink, we're done with the race. You go to the next room, and heck, we're in the next week.
Well, there it is. So points will be in the Discord. It will also be on the World of Thunder Esports League Facebook page at the end of the night here. So keep a lookout here if you want to know points at the end of round number 2 here of the Super Late Models. Also, Pro Late Model points should be updated as well then. So keep a lookout on the Facebook page or Discord for those point updates here after round number 2 of this season.
Awesome. I knew the man out there. I call him Outlaw BJ. He comes in clutch for me a lot of times. But we're getting set here for the night. C-Main under caution here. First time. 9 laps to go. 8 when they cross the line. Spengler, Barbera, Braswell. That's your top 3 sitting in those transfer positions. Guy outside, that is Marshall, Corn, Brass, Hardy, Krebs. They're all wanting to get up there in those top 3 and make it to the feature tonight.
It should be good here. Look at Hardy. Chase Hardy is trying to do the same thing that Drew Hopkins just did, and that is work his way through the field. He's from 11th to 7th right now. Still has some work to do if he wants to make it into tonight's A-main event here. But it will get interesting as Pace Truck, I'm pretty sure, is still on the Speedway. It is. So we'll go a few more laps around here as I think Race Control looking at the incident. And there it is. Lights are out. So we will go back green next time by here. The top 3 will go on again. Spangler, Barbera, Marshall right now is your top 3. It is going to get good to watch. Bo Krebs, Chase Hardy, like you said. Gonna have to keep an eye on those guys as well.
It's solid. Just said right there. Everybody lines up, goes back green. Barbera, Spengler up front. Those 2 guys are going to try to tangle. One's up top, one's down low. Braswell, meanwhile, hanging on to the 3rd place spot. Marshall's going to see if he can't take that away from him. He's on the inside, so it's a double up foul all the way throughout the field.
So out in front still, it's going to be Michael Spangler holding on to the race lead here as Chase Barbera, sorry, is out in front. Spangler in the second spot. Caution flag is out yet again. So when we come back to the green flag, we'll be halfway in this one. But Barbera, Spangler swapping some spots there. Marshall still in the third spot.
Who's back? Oh, he threw a slide job, got up there. The car could, like he lost a lot of momentum, car, and then he fell over back. So slide job gone wrong. Well, what have you seen a little bit different between pro lates and these right now?
A lot more action.
A lot more. All right. You're right. A lot more. What I'm seeing is a lot more slide jobs, and you spoke of it earlier. I think that's that major horsepower difference there between them. So I'm seeing these guys are able to put a lot more slide jobs and sliders. If we go back green, Barbera gets to jump out front. Spengler there behind him. You got Marshall hanging on the third. Boy, he's got company. A big wad of cars as they're going to go 3 wide. Braswell, Corn, Krebs. They know time's running out. They got to get going.
And battles are on here as it's going to be Marshall trying to hold off here. He's on the inside there as Marshall in the second spot, trying to get by Barbera, trying to hold off Braswell Jr. as well. Braswell holding off Jason Korn right now. Michael Spangler there as well. So that top 3 trying to hold on to transfer spots here. Korn, Spangler, Bo Krebs, Chase Hardy, all right there still in the picture here for a chance to make it into the feature event. But Chase Barbera, Thaddeus Marshall, those 2 out in front are starting to pull away.
It is, and it just went from a high lane down to all the way down to that bottom end of the wall. You see Korn, he had a disappointing run in the pro late models in the, I believe it was an LCQ, and right now it's not looking very good for him as he's falling off the pace behind Braswell. He's one more, but he's got company in Spengler right behind him, who is wanting to get up here and get back into his spot. As they go 2 by 2, side by side, Barbera still leading it. Right behind him, Marshall, Braswell in third. Korn and Spengler, that's the best battle going on for 4th and 5th.
Right now, it's a race to the trailers for those 2 here as top 3 again still move on. But Korn, Spengler, those 2 side by side, they're closing in on Braswell Jr. here, but it's going to be too little, too late. Barbera wins, Marshall and Braswell into tonight's A-main event. Tough break for guys like Jason Korn, Spengler, Bo Krebs, Chase Hardy again. Hardy, just like Hopkins, starts in the back, makes his way up front. Just too little, too late, and 2 little laps as well to write an end to their nights as well. But now, last chance showdown time here. Cody Nevin, Coy Viles, that will be the front row for this one. Robbie Buckman Jr., that's Nathan Waddell on the outside. Ryan Avila and Carden Cochran, that is the next row. Brandon Freeberg, Scott Smith, that is going to be row number 4. Jordan Casey and Tyson Ulicki, that's row number 5. Matthew Logan and Jaden Sheehan is row number 6. And rounding out the field will be Elton Beck. Again, same as the last ones. 12 laps, 3 laps distance, 3 going to move. Yeah, I just said that so backwards there. 12 laps, 12 laps, 3 go on. That's how that works. Been a long night.
That's all right. Hey, look, you know, 3 laps, the guys in the back might as well just park here. They're done.
This is what happens when you do the same routine so many times, and yet it's like, what was that?
Meanwhile, looking strong here tonight. You've got a lot of heavy-hitter guys. As green flag flies, Naveen going to get a good jump out front. Belize right behind him. Buchanan holding up in the 3rd place. And Buchanan's going to hang on to that 2nd, 3rd. Waddell's going to look to see if he can't get that final transfer.
Waddell going at it here as Buchanan Jr., and Ryan Avila also right in the mix there for that 3 spots. Viles holding on, or Viles. Is it Viles or Viles?
I say Belize.
Belize. I like that one better. So Belize, Avila, Waddell, Freeberg, all right there in the mix here. 3 go on for this one here. Nevin out in front. Buchanan Jr. in the 2nd spot. Belize holding on to that 3rd spot for now, but has company as Ryan Avila. Also right there, Nathan Waddell in the mix as well. So again, this is probably the best LCQ of the night so far here, as 4 or 5 cars battling out for that 3rd and final transfer spot.
And you got Buchanan's not happy with sitting in 3rd. He wants that 2nd place over Belize, and Belize right now is going to see if he can't battle him back. Meanwhile, you've got Evelyn.
Avila.
Avila, man. Well, now he takes over the third place spot. He's going to look on the inside. I said for a moment he was outside looking in. Avila right now, and that low line might come in. Everybody now back up to the top. We saw the last heat race there, Alex. Everybody was down low. This heat race and LCQ, they're up top again.
So Buchanan Jr. holding on to the third spot here, but Ryan Avila also right there. And now bringing Jordan Casey along that 42 machine. He's putting a run here as well. He's from 9th to 5th. So talk about the runs here that some of these guys are making through the field into these B mains and trying for transfer spots. But Cody Nevin out in front, Coy Valise in the second spot. Buchanan Jr. has some company, though, as there are cars behind, and Avila gets tapped from behind. That is Casey. So both cars losing time here. Buchanan now up to second, now looking for the race lead.
And looking good and strong as the biggest battles happening back around about 4th and 5th. You see Casey, Avila right there going tooth and nail, but up front you got Barbera, and that's Valise trying on the low side. Well, actually Buchanan on the low side. Valise is right there on the high side. They're trying to run down there. Naveen out front, so they're real quick there. Naveen, Buchanan, Valise. Tongue twister.
It quite is, but 2 laps to go here. Cody Nevin out in front, Buchanan Jr. and Valise right there. That's your top 3. If one of them make a mistake, Jordan Casey, Ryan Avila, they're right there as well. As now side by side here for the second spot, white flag in the air for that 102 machine of Cody Nevin, Buchanan, Valise side by side here into turn 3 and 4. Those cars are in if they keep this thing clean, and it's going to be Nevin taking home the win. Buchanan, Valise, it's going to be Valise taking home the second spot. Buchanan in third. Casey and Avila are the first 2 out, and yet again you look, 3 LCQs come and gone, and 3 of them now 9th to 4th for Jordan Casey, but it's too little too late for Jordan Casey here. He does not make it in, so a little bit of a warm-up here, and then it is feature time. But don't forget, next Sunday we are back in action back here on the OSR network. It is Eldora for round number 3 of the Pro Late Models and the Super Late Models, all right here on the OSR network. Also Ultimate Dirt TV and the World of Thunder eSports Facebook page, so you can catch this racing anywhere you want.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of places. I mean, we even got dirtfan.com. Got to throw them out there, but yeah, I always say pick your poison or what you want. A little bit of warm-up. I'm going to be like a minute warm-up, as I was told. So advance this thing pretty quick here tonight, so we'll keep with them in the meantime. But man, I tell you what, Alex, the biggest difference, like you said earlier, I see the power of these cars from the Pro Lates to this one, and you can see they're able to use the high and the low line, and plus you see those slide jobs, and they're able to do them a lot better. The cars are able to slide in there because they got that extra power.
Yeah, and like we said, this is only round number 2 of the season. Next week, Eldora, and then Bristol, the High Banks, the last great coliseum of Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee. The dirt is on, the late models are in, and it's going to be fun, but it's feature time here. And look at the front row. It's a stacked field from 1st to 24th, with that front row of Majulis and Logan Rumsey.
It is. You got Dylan Wilson, Evan C. sitting in the second one there, 3rd and 4th. Ryan Flatten in 5th. Richard Murtaugh Jr. started 6th. Dylan Yeager 7th. Mike Augustine up in the 8th. Dylan Hauser there in 9th. Jaden Krause in 10th. Jesse Eckerson in 11th. And Cody Seaman around 12th place spot. So folks, I don't know why they've had problems with SDK all night long. It does not want to control my grid. So put it this way. Don Rogerio hanging in 13th. Nick Baum there in 14th. Fuller in 15th. Bray Mills 16th. Chase Barbera 17th. Cody Naveen in 18th. Brent Evans 19th. Thaddeus Marshall in 20th. Coy Valise there in 21st. AJ Cruz 22nd. James Braswell 23rd. Robbie Buchanan back 24th. And as I read through those names, the guys that are going to have their hands full or uphill battles going to be like Valise, Cruz, and Nevin, some of them guys back there. But notice something in this one. I'm seeing it because we didn't see it last week. 75 laps on the board here tonight. They threw about 25 laps on us here tonight. Alex.
Apparently it's because I showed up. We're just going to go with that. I'm so happy I got a giant I got a freaking 1.5 liter bottle of water. I'm going to need it for 75 laps of action.
And the way this action's been tonight is we go 4 wide here real quick, though. But this action's been tonight, it's been outstanding. Well, folks, as always here tonight, we got the Miller Family Truck and Super Late Models presented by Hontz Performance. Here, ladies and gentlemen, get ready. It is a good one. 4 wide salute to you. 6 years ago, the World of Thunder. They formed it. 1,800 active members here on iRacing. Get back, get comfortable. Going to be some ground pounding, super late model action as it's a 4 wide salute to you and the fans here tonight.
I think it's Redemption Tour. I think it.
Yeah, I'm with you. We'll have to see what happens here. Now, remember in the last one, Evan C. dominated. He's starting in the pack a little bit here as we're getting them formed up here to go green. Blake Majulis, though, is the man who is direly needing something good to happen. Every time he starts out front, he's had bad luck so far, but got Logan Rumsey, like you said, Evan C. there, and another guy, keep your eye out on. Starting back in 10th, and he moving through the field. That's old Dylan Hauser. We'll have to see. He's bad fast. And then John Rosario back in 14th. I mean, hey, we know he loves coming through the field. Green flag flies. Blake Majulis does get the jump on the field. Rumsey there in second. Wilson hanging on the third. They're side by side.
75 laps on the board here. Majulis out in front. Then it is Logan Rumsey. Wilson by side. Those two will go at it. Evan C. right behind. Evan C. has company, though, and that's Ryan Flatten, Dylan Yeager, and Richard Murtaugh Jr. also in the mix here, as Murtaugh Jr. actually had some problems on the start. He dropped back to 9th there, so now Richard Murtaugh Jr. at 33 has some work to do early on.
He does, and Majulis still out front, loving what he's seeing. He saw this earlier with C. C was able to get out front and go. Evan right now back in hard in traffic in the 5th place spot. He's got Rumsey and Wilson battling out in front of him. As Evan, meanwhile, is going to take it up top. Look, got that wicked cushion, and it messed him up as Flatten's able to take the spot away from him. Dylan Yeager back in 6th. Hauser's up to 7th. So Evan C. right now falling off the pace all the way back to 5th.
And battles throughout here. Dylan Yeager right now, he's trying to go to the inside there on the 33 machine of Evan C. Not going to get there now. C on the top side trying to regroup some speed here. He gets it, but now Flatten, he's going to go up top. A little contact made between Flatten and C. Evan C up top side. Now here comes Yeager, almost 3 wide there. Battles for top 5 position as C gets around Flatten. Yeager gets the nose on Flatten now, and now here comes Dylan Hauser around Flatten as well. So Flatten having some problems here. He goes up top, and now Hauser, Mike Augustine get by Ryan Flatten as well. So now Ryan J. Flatten goes from 4th all the way back to 8th.
It does. Hauser up to 6th. Yeager there in 5th. And you talk about Flatten, he's all the way back to 7th. Now he's back to 8th. Mike Augustine is going to take the spot away from him. John Rosario, he's up 4 spots up to 9th. So our hard charger is going to be between him and Trey Mills, who is marred back in the 11th place spot, but he's up 5 so far. He'll got a lot of time in this one. Meanwhile, Blake Majulis, he's out front, half-second lead over Dylan Wilson. Everybody down low. Big battle going on for 3rd. Logan Rumsey and Evan C.
Rumsey and C going at it right now as C goes to the inside. Rumsey up top. Both cars comfortable where they are, but now Rumsey going to run a slider line there. He almost gets into the wall, opens the door. Evans, C on the bottom side. Rumsey gets the run out of the corner, though. Still side by side, but now here comes that 48 machine of Dylan Yeager. Dylan Yeager closing in on those top here as it is C. It is Rumsey. Dylan Wilson out in the 2nd spot. He is pretty much checked out for a little bit here, but now you see the distance is closing between Wilson and Rumsey as Rumsey trying to run that slider line. He's getting it to work, though, is the big thing for that 41 machine.
Talk about closing the gap, too. Look out. Wilson's closed the gap up on the back end of Majulis also. It was almost a half second. Now it's down to 3/10. And you talk about Rumsey and C, those two guys are still going at it on each other for the third place as Evan C is able to take it away from him. Rumsey falls back to fourth. Dylan Yeager up to the fifth place. Dylan Hauser right there behind him. So Dylan and Dylan hanging on to fifth and sixth as it's still back and forth for that fourth and third place spot between Evan C and Rumsey. As Rumsey, if he doesn't watch it, he's going to have Yeager right there in his tailgate trying to take the spot away from him.
And now you look a little further back there. Two cars that were comfortable with each other and ran side by side most of the pro late model race. Trey Mills, Richard Murtaugh Jr., but Ryan J. Flatten making a three-wide battle here in the top 10. Two will be in the top 10. Ryan Flatten now. He's back to 11th here as Mills and Murtaugh Jr. Those two battling it out here for your 9th spot as right now held by Richard Murtaugh Jr. Actually, Trey Mills got the pass. He's up from 16th to 9th. John Ruggiero Jr., you can't go without talking about this man. 13th to 8th to this guy. And again, hard-charging effort yet again for John Ruggiero Jr.
Yeah, Ruggiero right there. Like you said, he's up 5 positions. Trey Mills up 7, excuse me. And those guys, man, are just trucking through the field. And they got plenty of time to do it. They love the green flag runs. They love to get up here to the front, maybe a little more, and then catch a caution so they can close the field up even more. But right now, holding strong. Big battle back there in the 10th place spot because up front it's still Majulis, but he's got his hands full. Wilson's caught him, and Wilson's going to the inside. He says, man, I'm throwing the Wilson ball on him and see if I can't put the slide job on the inside. He's trying. He's got his nose there, but is he going to be able to make it stick?
Dylan Wilson trying to close to the bottom side here on Majulis. Majulis still with the run in the middle side. Evan C right there as well. So 2 out of the 3 RCFM eSports cars in 1 and 3rd position. Logan Rumsey also closing in on Evan C here, but you see Dylan Wilson there trying to make a move. Rumsey will not get off that top side though, as you see him coming in the picture one at a time here, as still that top 3 very close together. Logan Rumsey not far behind.
Absolutely. You see it's Majulis, Wilson, C, Rumsey in the back side of the fourth now. He's got Yeager on his back deck lid trying to see if he can't take it away from him. The top 3 is under a blanket, but they're moving away from that 4th place man there of Rumsey. So it's Rumsey and Yeager going to be in the mix as Hauser's patiently waiting. He does not like that low line. He loves the top lane, but he's got to take what the track's giving him right here. Mike Augustine's moved it up as meanwhile Zero he is kind of tapered off. He's back in the 8th. Trey Mills hanging on the 9th. Murtaugh there in 10th. At top 5, though, Alex, all world champs here. I mean, all of them. Yeah, Majulis, Wilson, C, Rumsey, and Yeager. I mean, that is a list of names.
And then you go 1 position back in the 6th spot, Dylan Hauser as well. And then you look back a little further, Ruggiero Jr., Trey Mills, Richard Murtaugh Jr., 3 guys that have had so much success in real-life racing, either in the late models or the modified racing up in New York for Richard Murtaugh Jr. Those cars looking quick here right now. All cars in the top 10. But again, here we go again, Mills, Murtaugh Jr., those 2 side by side for that 9th spot here. Murtaugh Jr., he gets by Mills here on the bottom side. Mills goes back up top. Those 2 side by side yet again here. So those 2 have battled throughout the night, pros and supers, and they've put on a great show.
They have. You talk about the battle back in 10th, but it's heating up front for the lead as Majulis has got it for the moment. He has not had the start to this season he has wanted, either in the pro or the super late models. Right now, he's got what he needs out front, but Wilson wants to spoil tonight here for Blake Majulis again and take that spot away. He is keeping his nose on the inside. If he can just get the bike coming off the turn, we'll see. See, he's kind of falling off the pace just a little bit, kind of had a mishap there. Put him back there in the clutches of Rumsey, who was sitting in the 4th place spot. But, man, it's Wilson, Majulis up front, door to door. Who's going to get this spot?
Evan C there tried to do a little bit of a slider line in 3 and 4. Now he's going to go bottom side here. Now Majulis up top. Majulis going to lose the lead in 1 and 2. He gets the run, though. It's Majulis. It's Wilson side by side yet again in 3 and 4. Logan Rumsey closing in, and now C right there as well. So the top 3 still going at it here side by side. Majulis had him at the line still. Majulis and Wilson and Evan C. Logan Rumsey not far behind here. So it might be a 4-car battle here for your race lead sooner than nothing.
And right now, who's got the best seat in the house? Evan C. He's watching this battle in front of him between Wilson and Majulis. Almost had that spot taken away, and Majulis in trouble. He goes back. He's at the top side. He's got Wilson on his inside. I think the low line or the top lane is going away, and that low line is coming back in as Majulis right now is kind of struggling trying to keep that top spot. as Wilson now's got his body out front. Nope, here comes Majulis firing back on the outside, but you can just see all the momentum he loses coming off the turn.
Yeah, the entry, he gets it. You see it again in 1 and 2. That entry, he gets it. And I think the moment that Wilson and C make a mistake, Majulis is going to try to cut down line here, and it might come in handy here. But that topside entry, you see as Rumsey as well gets the run now, catching up to the top 3, and Rumsey on the top side. He is showing some speed there, but again, it depends on how these cars are set up as they were 3 wide momentarily. Now Evan C gets by Dylan Wilson. Here comes Logan Rumsey now as well. So a 4, 5, make it 6 car battle, because here comes Yeager, here comes Hauser, your top 6 right there.
Well, if this does not get your hair running up and down on your arm, I don't know what will. Maybe go watch some golf or something, because right now Majulis is hanging on to that thing by a thread. You got C on the inside trying everything he can to take that top spot away, and then you got Rumsey, who is taking the spot away from Wilson for the moment as Wilson falls back. So you got teammates Majulis and C. What are they going to do? Is Evan C got enough? He dominated the pro late model race earlier. Majulis wasn't able to even get out the gate as he got in trouble. Caution out here. Richard Murtaugh Jr., you kidding? One of the top heavy hitters here. Let's see what happened to him on the replay. He was back there 3 wide for momentarily. Nice single file. He's that car in the middle. Oh, it just got punched in the back. I mean, sent around. See ya. Close down here, but wow. What the first half of this one.
And at first there could have been a caution prior as Dylan Hauser got the back of Dylan Yeager. Both cars saved it though. But man, oh man, talk about a tough break there for Richard Murtaugh Jr. Not what you want to see, especially from a car who was sitting in the top 10.
And he was coming to the front. I mean, he had definitely a fast car. Looked like he had something figured out, but kind of slows down everything. Everybody's going to be able to regroup, breathe a little bit. Hot and heavy up front. Problem is, what's this do for the psyche of a guy like Majulis? You know, he was out front here. Got to readjust and see what we got.
I think it's only going to get better here. For Majulis, this gives him time. He's going to figure out where he wants to go. He can, especially now, Delaware double file restart, he can go where he wants. It looks like right now he's going to go topside here, but I would think if he's going to go topside, he's going to have to try and run a cut down line here, because if not, there is going to be major issues here with Evan C hitting the bottom the way he does. But pace truck is off, green flag is out. Evan C now, he gets the jump there on Logan Rumsey as they both go to the bottom side. Majulis and C go bottom side. Logan Rumsey, he said, forget it, we're going right to the top side here. Dylan Wilson on the bottom side, now still a battle behind them as well, as there's Hauser, there's Ruggiero Jr., there's Dylan Yeager as well.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it is a who's who of names back there battling for that third place spot. You got Wilson, Rumsey. It just looks like you can get a run going in and a little punch in the back as Hauser's in trouble. Hauser's upside down. Wow, that brings a caution out. Let's go back and watch it one more time, because it looked like Hauser got punched in the back, sent sideways, almost had it saved. Just got up into the wall on him, I think, and then from there, turmoil. Pretty wide for a moment. Side by side with the full gate machine. Down low. Doesn't take much here to get hot. Oh, he went high, then the 48 got slightly into him. He had it saved, and then it went to the wall hard. He's upside down. That's going to end Dylan Hauser's night.
As Hauser is pulling into the pits, and it looks like, is he going to call it?
They have a fast fix?
I don't think they have a fast fix here, but maybe
he tore that car up. So
you know what? If it's his lucky day and he doesn't have any, mandatory repairs and he can just go with optional, I wouldn't be surprised if that 2 machine tried to get back out on this racetrack. Right now, I'm keeping an eye on him in the pits here.
I would say he's got some mandatory.
3 tore up here, but there's 2 to go. Right now it's about 2 more pace laps here, and then we will go back racing. So the real question is, as now they extended the caution a little bit more here, so now the real question is, can Hauser get out? With that many pace laps, can Hauser get back out on the racetrack?
If I'm a bet man, I'm going to say no. But hey, I'm hearing what y'all got to say out there in the chat, and whatnot. I mean, it's unfortunate because he was bad fast. But that's dirt racing. I've seen it many times. Short track racing in general too. Things happen so quickly. You don't stop very fast on dirt. Not like asphalt where you don't stop fast there either with the speeds they're doing. But yet the stopping distance is a lot less than what it would be on dirt. I mean, dirt it's almost like being on water or ice.
Yeah, and there he goes. So he has now parked it in his pit, and it looks like now it will be the end of Dylan Hauser's night. And Dylan Yeager is getting the black flag sent to the back. Will go Dylan Yeager here, so lights are going out here, and Majulis will be in charge of the field this time. We are back to the green flag out of turn number 4. It's going to be Majulis. It's going to be C. It's going to be Rumsey. Who's going to take it? Here we go. Green flag back out on the raceway.
And you got Evan C. right behind him. Rumsey, he's in the mix too. They're going to go side by side. Wilson's up there. Ruggiero, he's in 5th. Man, look at this, a dog fight there. And you're right out there, John. It's been a very outstanding good race so far. I mean, with a few little cautions here and there, but that's just what happens on the dirt track, small racing. Majulis out front. He's got C trying to see what he can do. Now, those two guys being teammates, they could probably try to control this front end for a while if Rumsey will let them. But look at this dogfight happening back around 5th, 6th, and 7th place spot. They're side by side.
And talk about the guys in 5th, 6th, and 7th there. You got John Ruggiero Jr. up 13th to 5th. You got Trey Mills 16th to 6th, and then you got Thaddeus Marshall 20th to 7th. Hard-charging efforts as well from Brent Evans 19th to 9th for him. So you look at these guys, over half of the top 10 started 10th or further back, and they have made their way into the top 10. But then you look at the top 4 there. They've started, actually, the top 4 haven't changed. C. Oh, the definition there. You see C started 4th. He's up to 1st. Majulis 1st to 2nd. Wilson still 3rd to 3rd. Rumsey 2 to 4. So again, you look at the top 4. They haven't changed much besides change positions, but the rest of these guys have moved up through this field, and I don't see them stopping yet.
Yeah, like I'll just tell you, man, don't blink, because who's the man up in the 4th and 5th battling? Ruggiero. I mean, you just cannot count this guy out. Somehow, some way, he finds a way to get to the front. Oh no, when you think everything is impossible, he definitely comes up through there. He's up 9 position. Might not be the top hard charger, but he has definitely made his headway to the front, up the 4th, battling, trying to hold on to it. Evan C. out front. He's taking that over from Majulis, so he's trying to make it a back-to-back night here of wins. Dylan Wilson, they're sitting in 3rd. Ruggiero, he's back up in the 5th, but Rumsey, look at this battle happening for 5th, 6th, and 7th. You got Rumsey, Mills, and Marshall, and a hard charger there of Marshall. He's actually tied right now with Braswell, so one of those guys going to break that one up. We'll see.
Talk about some good runs here. Trey Mills, too. Mills, he's now had to let some room as now Rumsey goes to the bottom side. So Logan Rumsey, I guess, learned that dropping from 3rd on to back to 5th, he has to go to the bottom and make something work here. Top 3 starting to pull away here from Ruggiero Jr. as now Rumsey going to sneak to the inside here on Ruggiero Jr. for that 4th spot back. It's going to be Ruggiero Jr. into turn 1 and 2. Rumsey, though, on the inside here. Who's got the bottom? A little bit of a bump there as now Rumsey gets by. So does Mills. So a 2-for-1 pass there as Rumsey and Mills get by John Ruggiero Jr.
Like you just said, 2-for-1 special, and he took it. Man, Rumsey scoured up through there, and Thaddeus Marshall also up 14 spots. Ooh, what happened to Ruggiero there? One little slip, he fell almost 3 spots back to 7. Not what he wanted to happen to him, but meanwhile, Rumsey hangs on the 4th, Mills there in 5th. Marshall hard charging it up to 6th. Evan C. is controlling this track tonight. If Lanier, we're going to rename it to the C Speedway here, because he has dominated pro lates and now super lates. Blake Majulis in 2nd, Wilson hanging on the 3rd. Your top 3's kind of spread out. Your biggest battle maybe right here starting to heat up. It's got to be around about the 6th place spot.
And talk about the thing we've said all night. if you make a mistake, be ready to pay. And that's what happened to Rumsey. That's what happened to Majulis. That's what happened to Ruggiero Jr. as well. You made the mistake. You drop back 3 to 4 spots. Heck, there's guys that have dropped back to 5 spots at this point. But Evan C., Blake Majulis still sitting 1 and 2. Wilson and Rumsey, as still that top 4 hasn't changed now as Rumsey back in the top 4. But Trey Mills into the 5th spot there. He's looking to make a podium run at it here. Just needs to pass 2 more cars. But Thaddeus Marshall up 20-6. Braswell 23-9. So talk about 2 cars making headway.
Absolutely. You know, Thaddeus Marshall in 6, up 14 spots. James Braswell up in 9th with 14 spots. So if it comes out to a tie, the hard charger, it's going to go to Marshall. Get just position, I would think, on that. But still, that is impressive. 14 spots to the front. And then you got Trey Mills up 11 plus spots. But it's all Evan C. out front dominating this one. Blake Majulis right behind him, trying to hold him off, and C's walking away. Wilson hanging on the 3rd. Rumsey's there in 4th. Top 4 got a little bit of breathing room. They are coming in some lap traffic. Trey Mills, everybody's kind of settled down just a little bit here, Alex.
And you talk about how we said right at the beginning of the night, from Knoxville being a hammer-down racetrack to more of a driver's track. You gotta be mistake-free. Evan C. has done it here, and he's more meticulous around the bottom right now as he's into lap traffic here, and a few of those lap cars, the 19 of Mike Augustine, the 01 of Jesse Edgerton, and the Hunt the front machine there, as Evan C. right now trying to get by lap traffic here, and he might want to try and make quick work, because if not, Blake Majulis is coming, and he does. He splits the difference there, gets by and puts 2 lap cars between himself and that 127. But Augustine sends it into the fence. He said it, ballparked it there. Mike Augustine is done here tonight. So now only 1 lap car between Evan C. and Blake Majulis here, but C looking for more.
I hate that, man. Mike Augustine, definitely a bad, fast driver in his own right, but the man who has dominated all night long has been Evan C. Won the pro late models in a awesome fashion, and right now he is leading the super late models. Now Blake Majulis got his hands full with Dylan Wilson, who has moved up here, and Logan Rumsey, so these guys are actually lap car in between them, my bad. Definitely still got Wilson going to move up on the back end of Majulis, and I think it's lap traffic. What's up, Chris? How you doing out there? Pretty good. Got an awesome heat rate, or awesome race going on here tonight for the Miller Family Trucking Super Late Models presented by Hontz Performance. Alex, it has just been nothing but what we thought. And look at Logan Rumsey, though, in trouble.
As Rumsey there dropping back and dropping like flies right
sure
now.
What happened? Just connection? Because it's now go on him. It doesn't show him.
As let's see, I'm going to look here while we go back here, and Rumsey there, he pulled it in the pits there, trying to avoid lap traffic, got pulled into the pits, so that's where Rumsey's night ends.
Oh, wow.
So lap traffic plays a crucial role, but right now, Trey Mills now 16th to 4th, 1 spot away from his first podium of the year with the Miller Family Trucking Super Late Models here. But Dylan Wilson is a tough man to pass, as now Wilson trying to get by Majulis here, but a lap car in between them as well here yet again. So lap traffic still playing dividends, but now Majulis closing in on Evan C. just a bit. That 2.5 advantage a few laps ago, now down to about a second.
And you talk about Trey Mills, the problem is he's got his work cut. He's 2 seconds back from Dylan Wilson, so Wilson's got a lot of breathing room, even with the lap traffic, so he can take his time around this lap traffic. He would like to see Majulis make a little bit of a slip, as Evan C. out front so far. He's got a 1.3 second lead over Majulis. Let's see, only about a 0.6 difference between Wilson and Majulis for that 2nd place spot. So kind of spread out between the top 4. Thaddeus Marshall hanging on back here. He's the closest to Trey Mills, about a 0.4 of a second off of Trey Mills for the 4th place spot. So it's a little bit of a mix-up, but time's running out with 3 to go.
And now Richard Murtaugh Jr., remember, he got spun around there, had some problems. Now he is back up into the 11th spot and closing in on Jaden Krause, James Braswell Jr. So Richard Murtaugh Jr. could still recover here and have a top 10 run with only a few laps left.
Points. That's what you got to think about sometimes. If you're able to keep going and get a good finish, you got to think about those points. Even though with the 2 drop weeks, you don't want to have to use them early. You really don't want to have to use them on bad races. You'd really like to use them on some good races if you had to and have everything. But coming out of the final turns, it's going to be Evan C. here tonight taking it. Blake Majula is going to come home in second. Dylan Wilson's going to bring her home in third. What a race, but a dominating performance by Evan C. again. Won the Pro Late Models earlier, won the Super Late Models here tonight. So he is having his way with these guys here at Lanier Motor Speedway.
And talk about a clean sweep here tonight for Evan C. He made it look easy, like you said. But not only that, you talk about Blake Majulis here, a good way to recover for that 127 after a tough feature in the Pro Late Models. He recovers well. And I talk, you can look at some of these guys. They need to recover come next week at Eldora. And some of these guys, it's a good momentum builder for the rest of the year.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to think about points, especially with what's up on the grab here with season number 20 Hotel. Miller Family Trucking, Super Late Models here tonight. Winner presented by Hontz Performance. That man, Evan C. We're going to bring up the hard charger here. Let you get a word with him because, man, 15 spots. Definitely, he was working his way. Thaddeus Marshall.
And, man, talk about bad, fast speed. Thaddeus Marshall had to come through LCQ earlier tonight, but made a run for it, finishes in the top 10. And talk about the run here. You had to pass a lot of cars.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't easy, especially after run that last chance qualifier. I didn't even think I had a chance there, but to make the show with the caliber of drivers in here, it's pretty amazing.
And you can always say if a caution would have came out, it would have been good. But think about it here. If that caution does come out with, say, 10, 15 laps to go, do you think you have a chance at coming after the top three?
I think I may have had a chance, but my car was starting to die off at the end. I lost track with Trey Mills. I was just happy to stay in the top 5 at that point.
Well, we know you got a lot of great sponsors backing you up here, so take some time and thank them here for a bad, fast car.
I'd like to thank D1RT Racing and Wotel for putting this race on, and you guys for broadcasting, my family for watching, and my wife for supporting me in everything I do on here.
Well, that is your hard charger tonight of Thaddeus Marshall. And Joe, I'm pretty sure you're with our third place finisher.
Yeah, Dylan. Dylan, join the booth. Got a copy. Okay. We'll bring up second place, man. Where was he? Well, wait a minute. Oh, maybe. Huh? I tell you what, we'll go to word with Blake here first, and then if Dylan comes back.
So redemption is the key. Blake Majulis, after a tough start to the night, you come back in the supers and you get on the podium here. And I tell you what, CFM eSports just looks unstoppable at some points in these super late models.
Yeah, for sure. I think especially recently, we just got everything dialed in lately. I think it really shows. Feels really good. All the guys are running good. It's we're just a powerhouse right now, and I love to see it. So hopefully keep it going. Had a good night. Second place, not too bad. I wasn't nearly as good as Evan. I knew what he was running feature, and obviously I knew he was a little bit better than me, so I just kind of let him go. I wasn't going to race him. I knew he was better than me, so I just wanted to focus on getting a second, holding a nice points position, and not risking anything to wreck or anything like that. So him winning in second, you can't ask for much more than that.
And real quick before we ask about the sponsors, we said it before in the night, this is one of those racetracks. It's more of a driver's track, and if you make a mistake, we've seen it tonight multiple times, if you make a mistake, you can lose multiple spots.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Very technical. I love it. I love these tracks that get slick. It really shows who's good, really. In reality, you get a lot of these guys that can, rip the tacky tracks for 10 laps, and then, these tracks bring the drivers out. These long races, that's what it's all about. Whenever the money's on the line, you're going to have a slick track, a lot of laps, and it just really goes to show who has the setup, who has the drive, and realistically, who has the consistency to win these races. And day in and day out, I think we prove that over and over again.
We know you have a lot of great sponsors and great supporters of that machine. Take some time and thank them here tonight.
Thanks, Alex. Appreciate it very much. You guys, first of all, for doing the broadcast. Appreciate you guys. Majula Say Speed Shop. Evan, congrats on the win. All my guys, all my customers, CFM. Appreciate everybody. I really put in the hard work on the setups for these guys to run good, and I think, like I said, it shows. And just keep digging. Represent Limited, Nick Diaz Academy, Sweet Victory Racing Apparel, ML Performance, and that'll do it for me. I appreciate it, guys.
That is your second place finisher here tonight, the 127 of Blake Majulis.
Please, man, up here. Dylan, you waiting in the booth? Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. Sorry, my mic wasn't working.
All right, man, I'll tell you what, but you had a good shot here tonight. You came up here in third. Was anything maybe you could have done different to get up there to get those other two guys, Majulis and
Just damage. I got in the wall early there, and you ain't gonna win any of these races rolling the slick with damage. So that just kind of hurt us. I was kind of complaining about no drive off, and then they told me I had damage, which I barely touched the wall, so I'm not sure how I got so much. But when you have some damage that you can see, it's usually worth about half a tenth, maybe to a tenth. So that's about all we were lacking there, and the car felt great. Just like I said, I could have just used a little bit more drive late exit, and Evan rolled by me, and I knew he was not going to be beat. He was so much drive down the straightaway and late exit. So no, in that case, just probably not hit the wall so early, and I'd like a redo at that. That's for sure.
Well, and that's scary to say. As fast as you was, even though you hit the wall, if you didn't hit the wall, Lord knows what you out there. But you got anybody you want to thank for a good finish?
Yeah, just thanks to the guys at D1RT Racing. Thanks to Wotel for putting this race on for us. Thanks to you guys and OSR Network for broadcasting this, and anybody else involved behind the scenes or that I'm forgetting. Thank you.
Dylan, again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Bring up our winner here tonight, because this guy dominated. Evan C. Evan, man, I tell you what, dominating finish here tonight. You did it in Pro Late. You did it here in the Super. I mean, like Lanier?
It's not my favorite track, but I feel like we've always just been really good here. These last couple of years. So when a track gets slick like that, we're just able to, keep it really smooth. I mean, it's a tough track to be consistent on when it's goes to the bottom like that. I mean, you're barely using any throttle. So you just gotta be super consistent and have just a really good setup to roll through that slick. And I didn't know if we'd be able to get the win in the Supers. So I knew Blake and Dylan were going to be pretty fast in front of me, and it was going to be hard to pass them. And my only hope was that maybe line would might change and they might get to move around. But we definitely had just a good enough car to sneak under Dylan one of those laps, and he realized I was below him, and kind of just moving off the bottom and didn't pinch me down. But was able to do the same thing to Blake, and I think he realized that he didn't really have much for us. So once we got to the lead, he was just super consistent, and didn't make any mistakes there like in the pros.
No doubt. I mean, definitely when you just said made no mistakes, I mean, you were flawless tonight, dominated in pro lates, and here with the Miller family truck and presented by Hontz Performance in the super lates. Got anybody you want to thank for an awesome dominating win?
Just gotta thank all the guys at CFM eSports, Majority Speed Shop. We all had a lot of speed tonight and some bad luck in a couple of races. Some of our guys did, but all in all, still proud of them. And we came home with 2 wins, and congrats to Blake on getting the second in the Supers. We had some bad luck in the first race, and I also got to thank Deborah One Sim Chassis, Captain Morgan, Sweet Victory, and thank all guys for broadcasting for us, and Steve and everybody else put on the show for us.
There you have it. That's Evan C. dominating both wins tonight, back-to-back pro late model, super late model. So Alex, I tell you what a race it's been, and what a night it's been.
And to think, like we said all night, it's round 2. So for some of these guys, it's a great start. Like for Evan C., you got to talk about it. 2 for 2 in the pro late models, a win again here tonight for the Supers. So it's been a hot streak for him. And then for Blake Majulis and the Pro Late Models, it's time to rebuild. It's time to regroup here after 2 bad weeks. You redid that tonight with the Supers, but now it's time to get to work. If you use those 2 drop weeks early on here, you got to get to work. If you're on a hot hand, you keep that hot hand going. Eldora next week, then the last great Coliseum of Bristol Motor Speedway for these, and then it's time for some more smaller tracks as well. So it's time to get to work for some of these guys, because the season comes and goes very quickly, and only, Bristol and then Limaland, Lucas Oil, Lincoln, and I-55, and that's the end of the season. So that season can come and go very quickly, as well as, don't forget, we will have Super Late Model Speed Week returning this season for the World of Thunder Esports League.
There you have it, folks. Well, what a night it was here for the Miller Family Trucking, Wotel Series, DirtFan.com, Hontz Performance, UDTV, myself here at OSR Network, and everyone. I appreciate y'all tuning in. For myself, all have a good night.